Welcome to Learning Bites, where we're looking at ways to increase your team's productivity to lift the profitability of your organization. One of the questions that we got coming through was around how do you bring the great ideas that your team has within them out of them? How do you get them to be creative, to share the innovative things that they might have seen because they're on the job doing it all day, every day? Many of you would have heard me share stories and training around how people on the floor have come forward with amazing ideas. One of the famous, in fact, probably the single most famous one, is the simple multi-billion-dollar idea that was sold to Coca-Cola, as tradition would have it, for $500, where somebody said to Coca-Cola, if you could give me $500, I'll give you 2 words that will make you millions of dollars. And those 2 words were bottle it. And so they went from serving Coke in fountains to in bottles. And you can go look that up. There's lots of different variations on that story. Another great idea was when Colgate wanted to increase their sales by 20%. And the cleaner said to them, well, just increase the nozzle by 20%. So when people squeeze it, they squeeze more toothpaste out. A lot of these stories have gone down in the archives of legend and folklore, and there are a dozen of them if you look on the internet. But they all point back to a simple thing, and that is that the people who do the job all day, every day, have an incredible insight into how their job could be done better, how their job could be done more efficiently, more effectively. All ideas that you can implement. However, what I wanted to share with you in line with what we've been doing this month is a little template to help you brainstorm with your team ways of being more effective. The template is a very simple matrix, as are many of the templates that are used to get ideas out of people. And you'll see the template over here. It's a very, very simple one. It looks at what are some of the common ideas and what are some of the original ideas, what's feasible and what's not currently feasible. And what you do is you get your team to brainstorm, and you can see there it's got blue ideas, and those are for common ideas that are feasible. That's stuff that you could do right now, often called the low-hanging fruit. What sort of things could you do immediately? Things I've seen teams put in place are rearranging the dispatch area so that the product that is most often needed is closer to the dispatch people. Putting little handwritten notes on items going out to key account staff, putting little cross-selling slips into the packaging so that every time you send it out, you're educating your client what else you can do for them. Low-hanging fruit. Then we've got what they call red ideas, which are your original ideas. So they're like wow ideas. That's the kind of thing that we want. And the thing that's so amazing about them is that they're feasible. We could do those things. And so once again, those are the kind of ideas that often get people really excited. My encouragement is to pick 1 or 2 of those and see them through to the end. A lot of people suffer from the shiny person syndrome where they go, oh, new idea, and they do it until then, oh, next new idea, and they never actually finish something and implement it. And then there's those ideas which you want to put on slow boil, where they're original, but we don't yet know how to do them. And that's often where technology can come into play, where the technology is not quite there yet. Movies like Avatar were delayed for a number of years because the technology that was required to film them wasn't yet there. That's a lovely little matrix. Obviously, it's a little bit of a play on the De Bono's thinking hats. It's a way of bringing it in a lot quicker. I saw a lovely little thing for those of you who have never used De Bono's thinking hats. They're 6 colored hats, and they each represent a different way of thinking. So are you critical, analytical? Are you creative? Are you original? Are you fun? Different ways of thinking of things. An interesting little observation I saw added onto that was something called the invested hat, and it's for a business owner where they're coming in from an angle where they've got a huge amount of investment into an idea, and so for them, what are they bringing to it? So if the matrix doesn't work for you, you might want to look at the 6 hats plus 1 of De Bono's, a really good way to get the team to do it. But do bring your team together. Do get them to debate and discuss and chuck forward ideas. It's incredible what can come from the people who are invested in your organization, who are doing what's required all day, every day, and they can find such original ways to improve your level of service, your level of productivity, and the experience that is enjoyed both internally and externally. Do put it into practice, and here's to your success. If any of this resonated with you and you'd like some help with it, do feel free to get in touch. Drop me an email at mike@thinkright.co.nz or 0272 987 523 or our website www.thinkright.co.nz.